It was the most painful experience ever.
The first thing that I did, I didn't talk, I didn't say anything. I just hugged her.
And I felt so uncomfortable.
I wanted to save a soul.
Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
My name is Koketso Seoka. I'm from Soweto, Netherlands. I was raised by a single parent. Growing up without a father, I wasn't that child on daddy problems. My mom was very honest about my father, and I don't have a father. My mother was there, and that was the only thing that mattered to me. My mom was there for me. I met my father when I was 17. It was December, and then January, a fight where we decided we don't want to be part of each other's lives because of the person that I am, how I grew up. He didn't approve. So around March, I was confused, Even though we didn't have a relationship, he was my father. And I felt like my right side was just fade. I felt so numb. But then I just said, oh, okay. And at night, I cried. We didn't know each other, but then I did cry. I felt it. And then the next morning, I tried to call him. I don't know why, but then just to confirm, I just tried to call him. Yeah, I mourned him for months. When I was 7 until I was 12, I was molested. My first time, it was my friend's brother. We used to stay in the same yard, they were renting at my house, and me and the sister were the same age. Sometimes he would call us to hang or play, and he would secretly touch me. Let's say we're playing cards, we're sitting in the same side. Maybe he would just his hand, at the back or something, and I would just keep quiet because I don't know, I would just keep quiet. And then there were days whereby he would send my friend to the shops to buy, and so maybe something very random, tamareka mazemba or chippies, and he would make sure distant from Kohai, and he would undress me. It would be into SRS, from he would start from my pants, from the only important thing was my underwear, and have sex. And then after, I would go inside the house. I wouldn't say anything. It would just be a normal play. We're just playing. Nothing wrong happened. It lasted until they moved out. Maybe they stayed around a year or a year and a half. I continued being friends with my friend. I continued going to that house. And then my second incident, it was no longer the brother, it was the uncle, the same family, the same friend. But the only different thing is they no longer stayed in our home, in our yard. They stayed streets away, not even far from where I stayed. It would happen in a random way in front of my friends, whereby he would like touch me. Like, you know, when somebody touches you down there, your boobs, your palms, like everything, and nobody saw anything wrong. Like, no one's like, even me, I didn't see anything wrong because my friends were there, like everybody was there, you know, until there was a time where it got serious, whereby and yeah. It happened until I think I was like the whole 9-year period, and I felt so uncomfortable. I even told him I was feeling uncomfortable. I didn't like what he was doing. I'm gonna tell my mom. Not that I was gonna tell him, I just threatened him. The next thing I hear he committed suicide, he killed himself. But then I never blamed myself. I just, like a part of me did, but then now as an adult, he might have had reasons why he killed himself. I don't know his reasons, so I wouldn't say I'm the reason why he killed himself. So yeah. I just remember, like he even tried to block my mouth so that I don't scream or anything.
Let's learn from one another. Let's go. Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
When I was 13, my mom met somebody, and with the situation faced at home, we had to move and stay with my stepfather and his family. They even got engaged. It was really hectic when his nephew started sexually harassing me. I remember my mom got a job. I had to cook. Nale and I were the only females in the house, and the rest were men. So I had to cook. I was wearing my full school uniform, and he came from work, and we had a small chat, and then I just remember him dragging me from the kitchen. We went to his room. Uncle left from the kitchen to his room, and I said no. I said I don't like badly, but then it was the most painful experience ever. I just remember, he even tried to block my mouth so that I don't scream or anything when he goes inside me. But then I cried, and he didn't stop anyway. He just continued and promised it's gonna be quick. Yeah, we'll be done now. Every incident I would take a very, very hot bath. And that time my water turned pink because I was bleeding. I cried. But then I cried silently. I didn't cry loud. I cried. I kept on telling myself, it's gonna be okay, you're gonna be fine. like whenever I cry, I would say, you're not gonna cry. Like, you're strong, girl, you're strong. And I would just laugh, like, you know. So I would dress, after bathing I would dress, I would give it high, wear pajamas. And that's when I started to wet myself. Every time, whether I'm standing, I'm sitting, I'm sleeping, because I couldn't hold myself. Like, it would feel hot every time when I bath. It would feel hot every time when I pee. It would feel hot every time when I sit down. And when I walk, I would feel it. And that's what happened every single day. Every time when he comes back from work, he would rape me, like every single day. I would, oh, sorry. My mom, my stepfather, they separated. And that's where I got my freedom. My mom rented a place to stay. And yeah, I was happy because the only thing that mattered was I was no longer staying there. I was no longer abused. Like, I would do things that I didn't understand. I would hide what I was feeling, even for myself. Like, I would just hide. I would cut myself. I would do things that, And that's where I saw, I needed somebody to talk to. Like, I need help. So I couldn't talk to my mom. I couldn't talk to anyone in my family. And I just saw this teacher that, like, I just saw Mrs. Homo as somebody that, like, somebody I would feel comfortable talking to.
Koketso decided to write me a letter, and I found this letter on my table. That was after break. I saw this letter on my table, and then I opened it, I read it. And after reading it, I was very touched by the contents of the letter. I went, ngayombheka la amakhona ngamthola, attractwa sadness that I saw on her face. And masesihlangana ngebreak, the first thing that I did, I didn't talk, I didn't say anything. I just hugged her. And I think I hugged her for about 5 or 10 minutes, I can't remember, but for a very long time. I hugged her because I just felt ukuthi uyabona khona manje into important ukunika lo mntwana uthando.
She became like a mother that I needed.
Kwasuka ukuba uthisha kimi. Kwabuya ukuba umzali. Ngacabanga abami abantwana going through what Koketso was going through. Ngacabanga ukuthi njengomzali ongasuthisha okwamanje obhekene nale situation engibhekene nayo, I need to act as fast as I can to save this life, to protect this child, to support this child. She chose me to help her, you know, and to me that was like lo mntwana lo uze kimi ngoba engithemba. I don't know what I have done, maybe to abanye abantwana that maybe made her to put her trust kimi. And then I felt good for the mere fact that she has chosen me. There's no way that I'm going to let her down.
Every time after school I would talk to her. Every day at school I would talk to her. and she would help me with anything and whatever, you know. There wasn't anything she wouldn't do for me. Even if she has to miss a period for me, she would miss a period. Even if she has to take me to church to get help, she would do it.
And I remember my daughter one day even said, "Are we still your kids?"
She took on that mother role that I was missing. So, yeah. Koketso, I met her last year. I was 23 and I was tired of life. I was so tired. I was so depressed. I no longer believed in myself. I just wanted to die.
So this is how I met Koketso. I got Koketso through a friend of my mentor. She thought that my story might be able to change Koketso's life because she thought there were some similarities.
The only thing I wanted was a better life. I wanted to be free emotionally, mentally, like I wanted to be happy.
Let's learn from one another. Let's go. Let's learn from one another. Let's go.
So when she sent me that stress message, the first stress message, I stopped my meeting and I drove. And I got there, she had pills, she had razors. She just needed somebody to sit with her. She cried the whole time, screaming that she wants to die. You sit, you listen, you tell her you love her. And every now and then when she does those things, all she wants to do is, Koketso, please tell me you love me. And when I say that, she'll be like, okay.
She was very encouraging.
I didn't mind Hore, I'm spending a lot of money calling her, or I'm spending money on petrol and taking my time to drive all the way from Centurion to Soweto. It wasn't a matter of I wanted to be seen or recognized for the efforts that I was making. I wanted to save a soul. I saw a potential in a young girl that is just vulnerable, that just wants love, that just wants somebody to hug her and to tell her that she's worthy, you know, of life. And the fact that I was seeing potential in this very young girl who's vulnerable, who's going through a lot. And I always take it back to myself to say I went through a lot as well. And had it not been of people that God brought on my path, I wouldn't be here.
Oh, I'm so proud of Koketso. Looking at her now and looking back from where she was then, I feel very proud. And I remember saying to her, you like to write letters to me, you need to write a book, Koketso. And there's a lot that you can write about. And your book is going to help other young people who have been through the same journey, Obeguyo. And I'm proud of Koketso today because Koketso has written a book. The book is already published.
When I wrote it, I never thought people are gonna read it. I never even thought I was gonna finish it. But then it was therapeutic for me because a lot of things that I would push away, I had to think about them, I had to write about them.
The fact that she's alive today and alive with possibility, and she has a book, a beautiful book, makes me happy.
As educators, we need to treat abantwana like our own kids. Yes, we might not provide everything for them. We might not maybe be able to give them the love that we give to our kids, but we must always look at them as abantwana bethu and treat them as such. And whatever we say to them can either build them or break them. Sometimes as educators we say things kulabantwana ezibhlungu ngoba si angry or noma si frustrated umsebenzi wethu because teaching is draining these days. There are so many challenges that educators are going through. And I normally said to my colleagues, you know, before you name and shame a learner, go deep, dig deep, and find out why this particular child is behaving in this particular manner. Because I believe that for every behavior, there's a reason behind.
Mrs. Komo and Koketso, they mean the world to me. I don't believe I would be the woman that I am or the person that I am. Their love has, I don't know, their love, their patience have taken me far, have made me stronger, and I carry that all the time with me. Like, their love is tattooed in my heart. At the moment, I am a very strong girl. Self-love, I love myself despite what has happened to me, because it was never my fault and I can never blame myself for it. Yes, it happened. The only thing that I can do for myself is love myself, find healing, like, deeper into my scars.
To parents, I would like to say, they must make sure at all times that they work with educators. Sometimes educators feel frustrated by what these children are doing at school because they don't get support from parents. And parents must remember that abantwana bethu, they live a double standard life. When they are with you as a parent, they behave like angels. But as soon as they leave their homes, they become something else. So we are appealing to parents to work with educators. This is a triangle. It has to do with a learner, a parent, and an educator. And if these three can come together and work together and support one another, then the problems that we have are going to be minimized.